Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, The Truth Hurts. I'm Andrew the Love Doctor, and I specialize with breakups. We catching people creeping, lying, and cheating in relationships. Today I'm going to be discussing red flag number 273. Monsters do exist. I'm going to start this video with my classic cliche. You can't make this shit up. I just found out that there's actually a contingency plan for zombies apocalypse in some hospitals. I'm not surprised at all. With all the zombie movies being made, Hollywood gets its material from real life situations. So I knew zombies actually existed. Governments are creating biological weapons that utilizes parasites to deliver toxins that turn people into zombies. People who don't know about this, if and when this apocalypse occurs, they're going to find themselves in a freaking nightmare. Laugh all you want, but that's what the 1988 movie Serpent in a Rainbow was based on, a true story where medicine, potions of herbal roots, places a person in a death state trance, convincing doctors they're actually dead. After the dead is buried, they wake up from their trance and considered zombies by the living, and are referred to as monsters because everything about them is unnatural. And in their state, they are going to cause horror, pain, and suffering. Same principle with a narcissist. Comparisons between the zombie and the narcissist is they will both hurt you and no one will see it coming. Zombies attack you physically, narcissists attack you mentally. Zombies, apocalypse, and narcissism is both about an epidemic where they both feed off of you. Please watch red flag number 27, The Epidemic of Narcissism. Being naive to the fact that monsters do exist is what causes the freaking nightmare. Because you don't know what to do. My best friend made me feel stupid by saying, you act like you never met a monster before. We both laughed because we both realized he was right. I never did. That's because I lived a sheltered life with a decent family that instilled ethical morals and values, which are the principles of doing the right thing and stay away from the people that's doing the wrong thing. However, narcissists don't have ethical reasoning. Please watch red flag number 271, No Ethical Values with a Narcissist. In relationships, when you give a person the opportunity to be with you, you leave yourself open to be deceived, manipulated, and in many cases, lose your peace of mind. As you know, my videos reveal true life stories that demonstrates some people just want to win your trust so they can ruin your life. When dating, it is very important to take the time to observe and learn the personality and character of the individual you are intrigued with. Because odds are in today's world, you're going to encounter a monster. A monster is a callous entity that causes another pain and suffering without remorse, simply to gain the instant gratification it desires at that moment. Thus, they can do anything to you and not feel bad about it. These individuals are extremely self-centered to care about another person's feelings. Prime example. One witness from red flag number 261, Kim Wilson and the Narcissist, is quoted. 1. When people put on a mask and make you think they are so sweet and nice and accept your ring, have you move hundreds of miles away from your home just to do you wrong and let you leave, then beg you to come back, that's not only a terrible person, that's a down and out monster. How can you do that to any person you know that loves you? 2. Women who have been in abusive relationships can more relate to what a monster is. Someone that batters them into an intensive care unit. Someone whose very presence, entering a room with them alone, terrorizes them. To understand narcissism, you have to think like a psychologist. To understand psychology, the easiest way to comprehend is to simulate your experience with the behavior being studied. Here is a list of monsters' behaviors. And I'm going to use my experience so you can relate. 1. The most incredible trait of a narcissist is their complete lack of conscience, lack of empathy, remorse, guilt, or shame. Lilith. Everybody's been cheated on, but some just don't know it. Well, consider them saints. But I have no regrets, no remorse, and I went out with a bang. 2. They insult their victims very often. Then lie when confronted about it or say it was just a joke. I passed a drug test for a job. I jokingly showed Lilith the results to show her I'm on my best behavior. You better pass or else you on the next plane back home. What the fuck? What you gotta say it like that for? Lilith catches herself. No, I'm just saying. I'm not taking care of no man. I have no intentions of allowing you to take care of me. Sure, I asked Lilith for $40 a few times for gas money to get a job. But when you calculate the amounts of money between us, you will see that what she gave me pales in comparison to what I've given her and sacrificed. 3. When confronted with the behavior, they pretend to be innocent and play victim. Lilith. He's a grown man. He's not a toddler, people. People do shit to people every day. My mom taught and instilled me. It's how you deal with it. I'm not denying my relationship with him or denying the part I played. I'm a victim too. Red flag. Narcissists will believe they are victims as to what they have done to you. 4. Everything is always your fault, even when it's obviously not. Drug addict Lilith is telling people she left because of drugs, when the truth of the fact is, the drug addict Lilith substituted sex for drugs, which was natural for her because she was selling her body to get the drugs. Truth of the matter is, she had another man the entire time, making the entire relationship a lie. That's why she's telling people, and I quote, I'm with a big dick gent, that's who. One of the reasons why I couldn't take it anymore. One woman wants an appetizer without a full course meal. Reason why he can't keep a woman, and I tried to tell his sorry ass, which I know will crush his ego. But unfortunately, size does matter. Yeah, it's okay now. Again, unfortunately, my herpes pussy has more popularity than you. 5. They always have a justification for every bad thing they do. They think they're always right. So you do admit you did something to Andrew to make him carry on in such an obsessive manner. Why did you hurt him? Because he's a bitch-ass nigga, now what? 6. Very controlling. They tell you how to live, but they can live any way they want. Lilith wants me to work for Walmart as a cashier stock boy. She doesn't find Walmart demeaning for a man of my stature. A man that supports vice presidents and CEOs at Fortune 500 companies. You see, if I made $9.25 an hour while she makes her $75 grand a year, she would have the financial power. Narcs want you to be totally dependent on them so they can mentally abuse you, knowing you can't go nowhere. Notice, Lilith paid for my ticket to come back to her, but wouldn't pay for my ticket to go home. but loudly crying she wants me gone, trying to make me homeless, and wouldn't wait 1 month for me to save my money from the job I just started to buy my own ticket. But here's the lie I just mentioned. You better pass or else you're on the next plane back home. Red flag. Know your worth or else a narcissist will make you feel worthless. Run. 7. They accuse you of what they are doing to you. That's called projection. They say, Lilith says she upgraded me. Fact remains, I upgraded her. I put food in the house when there was none. I introduced her to constant home-cooked meals when arriving home from work rather than to order takeout from restaurant meals. Her family came to her house more often because they didn't want to put up with her attitude alone. I gave her home a family atmosphere rather than inviting Tom, Dick, and Dirty Harry to jump up and down on her into her bedroom. Then afterwards feed them tacos instead of sandwiches. Let's not forget, by my wrecking her car by mistake, it freed up half her paycheck. Thus, there was more things she could do with her money and became less dependent, sponging off of her ex-husband who left her blank checks in exchange to hit it whenever he rolled into town. 8. Portraying themselves as angels outside when they are actually demons with their families, especially with their targets. Hypocritical. Behaving in such a way that suggests one has higher standards or more noble beliefs than is the case. The nature of hypocrisy or pretense of having virtues, beliefs, principles, etc. that one does not actually possess. A man said about her, and I quote, "Let me prove to you guys the hypocrisy of the black woman. Let me tell you how hypocritical the black woman can get down. A black woman who pretends to be holy, pretends to be a good woman saying she don't do certain things that make women look bad. These are the types of women who pretend to be angels, thinking they're too good, thinking they're above everybody, and thinking that they shit don't stink." Please watch red flag number 113, the horse behavior of a narcissist. And red flag number 71, sexual behavior of a narcissist. Now Lilith's grandchildren are going to see her one day and say, "Is that grandma laying on the bathroom floor like a hoe, with her titties hanging out of her skimpy clothing? No wonder why grandma has herpes." 9. They want you to fail while pretending to want you to succeed in life. And they're very convincing. "Andrew, you are a talented book writer, show host, and you will do very well having your own show, whether it be in front or behind the screen. Either way, you will be great in helping others, not only in relationships, but in sensitive topics. Whatever you decide is solely up to you, and I will do my best to back you up. I could help him, as many black women who have the ability to build a man." If you know me, you know my story. You know Lilith builds a man with abandonment issues by abandoning him. Remember, this bitch leaves me home alone in her house while she's playing house an entire week in another man's house. Narcs build you up to tear you down. 10. They never say they are sorry for hurting you. I called Lilith to get closure and receive an apology. I waited 2 weeks because normally they're settled with their new supply and don't give a damn about you anymore, and normally grant your wish for answers. She said, and I quote, "I'm not telling you anything, find your own closure." 11. Poisons your favorite activities. They don't want you to be happy or to get pleasure. Many narcissistic survivors find themselves not wanting to date nor have sex because the mental images of the narc's infidelity is burned into their minds. Not just screwing. All sorts of intimate acts, orals, sounds, and whatnot that can be particularly hard for a trusted mate to forgive and impossible to forget. Up to now, whenever I see a sex scene on television, I have to turn the channel. And it's been over 2.5 years. 12. Lead a smear campaign against their target to protect their image. Lilith will befriend my enemies in hopes to hide behind their hatreds of me. Narcissists will seek out anyone that has harmed you and cling to them. 13. Sometimes nice, sometimes cruel, you never know where you stand with them. Lilith humbly enters my room and slowly, pathetically, sits beside me as I lay in bed and say, I miss you. She will kiss me, lay her head on my chest, and hold me and say, I'm ready to take your suggestion and see a marriage counselor. The very next day, the very next discussion, I want to see other people. 14. When you want to leave the relationship with a narcissist, they will beg you to stay with them and cry crocodile tears. They are the best actors. Please watch Rap Side number 68. Narcissists are great actors. I didn't even get off the plane when I start receiving Lilith's emails. You're the best man I ever had, and no matter what, I want to need you back. I have never cried so much over anyone, not even when I was in love. Why is that? Please don't give up on us. Please don't. 15. Narcs will always take kindness for weakness. They're incredibly ignorant and sadistic. They see their targets as weak and deserving to suffer. Lilith. It takes a man with a heart to cry opposed to bashing her head in. Later on, it's nice guy, get the fuck out of here. This motherfucker will clean, wash dishes, wash clothes, and will chauffeur you around wherever you want to go. Bitch, I don't need a maid. I need a man. You simp, sorry sack of shit. You lack balls. But they will think I'm weak no more after they experienced my wrath. Lilith was warned by my best friend, and I quote, Andrew's a nice guy that he's known for 14 years, but don't piss him off. Don't mistake my kindness for weakness. I'm kind to everyone. But when someone is unkind to me, weak is not what you're going to remember about me. As you can see, everything about narcissistic behavior is monstrous and demonic. Because their excessive abuse is negative behavior towards other people is inhuman. That's what makes them monsters. The gods know these monsters. Gods are those who see the beauty in the dark side of life. Today's society is focused on darkness because it's associated with evil. Those are those kids that's dressed in all black like in South Park. Everything is death with them. That's where narcissistic songs come from. Like Pucifer, Revelations 22:20 from the movie Underworld. Don't be aroused by my confession unless you don't give a good goddamn about redemption. I know. If you see Lilith coming, run for your life before you become influenced by her charms. When this sexy devil catches your eye, she'll suck you dry and pull you into her bosom to screw you again. She'll make you weep and moan and cry to be back in her bosom to do it again. Pray till you go blind. Pray, 'cause no one ever survives. Praying to stay in her arms just until I die a little longer. Saviors and saints, devils and heathens alike. She's going to sin to see you again. She's going to lie and lie and lie. She'll eat you alive. Better pay attention.